Bicicletas. Pedalar por aqui é seguro, tranquilo, agradável e a preferencial no trânsito diante dos veículos motorizados é sempre minha.
Copenhagen is a special situation because there were actually lots of bicycles in the city back in the early 1900s.
And then in the 50s came the cars.
And you can look at pictures of Copenhagen in the 50s, 60s, and 70s and there were no bicycles on the road. So for 30 years they disappeared. Then in the 70s, prompted by the oil crisis in 73, more and more people started demanding, like Paulistas need to do, more options for transit.
There were big demonstrations from the citizens, not from city planners or architects or politicians, but simply from the citizens. And the people living in the central parts of Copenhagen say, hey, you have to stop this focus on the car, you are erasing a bike culture that's good for the city, that's the way we Copenhageners want to move around in the city. You should build on it instead of erase it.
So once a week we met and stopped all the streets and demanded better conditions for bicycles to make the politicians know that there was a popular demand for better conditions.
As more and more people began to ride their bike, there was less demand for vehicular traffic space. So when you gave space to bicycles, it may have been a little bit more congested perhaps for a short period of time, but then more people started to ride, and then the vehicular traffic started to move freely again.
If you imagine just a third or half of the people on bicycles, if they were in a car on the street, then nobody in the cars would get anywhere. And most people you see on the bicycle, they have money enough to go out and buy a car if they want to. But just now it makes a lot more sense to go on a bicycle because it's the easiest and fastest way to go from A to B.
Too late somehow, it's 1:15 now, and I say, what have we done to ourselves? I mean, what have we done? Got nothing new, telling you, and the sky isn't blue like the blue that we know.
Em uma equação com fatores como turismo, tempo de deslocamento, necessidade de investimento em infraestrutura e saúde pública, chegou-se à conclusão de que a cada quilômetro percorrido por uma bicicleta, a cidade ganha 1,22 crônicos, enquanto que a cada quilômetro percorrido por um carro, a cidade perde 79 centavos de crono. Uma das formas é a chamada onda verde. Se você mantiver uma velocidade constante de 20 km por hora, vai pegar todos os faróis abertos. Para você ter uma ideia, a velocidade média de locomoção dos carros em São Paulo é de 13 km por hora. É mais devagar que uma galinha. Mas Copenhague é uma cidade pequena e o trânsito de São Paulo é infernal. E outra, pedalar em cidade grande é perigoso. Tá bom, tudo bem, eu concordo com tudo isso. Mas aqui em Copenhague eu descobri que nenhum desses argumentos é impedimento para colocar a bicicleta como meio de transporte em grandes cidades. Duvida?
It is absolutely possible to make bicycling part of transport in big cities, completely. But the key is to think about how the bicycle becomes an integrated piece of the wider transport system. You can't think that someone's going to ride their bike from point A to point B 35 kilometers in the summer. They're not going to do it. So it's about what elements of the journey can be taken by bike and making sure that those elements are convenient, safe, comfortable, etc. All the people that are on the road that are taking short trips, if they could take their bike just for that, a portion of their trip, then you eliminated some of the congestion for people that need to take longer trips. Maybe you bike 5 or 6 kilometers of your 30-kilometer journey, but that makes the congestion of the entire city much better. And maybe, over time, like the case here is in Copenhagen, people take that 15, 18, 20-kilometer ride because there's a safe lane the entire way, and because, it's part of exercise and a healthy lifestyle and everything like that.
Never ever saw it coming at all.
A lot of the motorists are also cyclists, so there's not this antagonistic relationship between one or the other.
If you want not to look at bicycling as a fine extreme sport, I survived today, maybe I survive tomorrow. You need a good and safe infrastructure.
Because it's very easy to make plans, it's very easy to make goals. The hard thing is to take the decisions that makes it possible to reach the goals.
É economicamente viável e vantajoso. É possível, é bom para a saúde de quem pedala e da cidade. O que a gente está esperando mesmo?